so you guys can get that experience that I feel like everyone needs at least once in a lifetime. Welcome back to Nostalgia with me, B.Poetique. And today we are going to be talking about, drum roll please, comic books. Of course, if I'm talking about nostalgia, I have to talk about comic books because comic books are just one of those things that even if you didn't grow up on them, you know what a comic book is, and it just brings you back to a simpler time. So, of course, I had to talk about comic books. Comic books started in Europe in the late 1800s and then made their way to the United States to bless us with their presence around the Great Depression, so around the 1930s. And they started in newspapers and in like sales papers. So I cannot remember when sales papers went around. I believe it was sometime over the weekend, like the Sunday paper. I think it was the Sunday paper. Comics would have their own section in the newspaper or in the sales papers, and that was like tradition for some families. Like everybody would get together. Some people would get the business part of the newspaper and some people would get the comics. I was the one that wanted the funny papers, as they were called. I hope I did not date myself because that's not okay. But anyway, if you grew up on comics, then you know that they started in newspapers and then they had physical copies that were sold in stores. Now, regarding the stores, there used to be a good amount of comic book stores. But then with the rise of the internet, of course, stores were no longer as available as they were prior to the internet, because you can find comics on different websites. You can just order the comic books from different websites or from Amazon, eBay, whatever. And there was really no need to have those stores, but it's something about being in a store that sells comic books that's just like, it's something about it. Like you got to walk into that store, and when you walk in, it immediately feels like childhood. Like you just walked into being a preteen again. But of course, since we're talking about comic books, I got to take y'all to some places to see comic book stores. So I'm going to show you one that I walked past in LA, and they had some pretty cool stuff in the window. And I'm going to take you inside of a comic book store, or a few comic book stores in the city of Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, so you guys can get that experience that I feel like everyone needs at least once in a lifetime. And then after that, we're going to talk about some things. So let's go. as you can see, being inside of a comic book store is definitely a vibe. Seeing physical comics, feeling physical comics, and having your own comics is just something that just gives you a nostalgic feeling. I can't really describe it. Me personally, if I had to read a book, it would definitely be a comic, like a physical book. It would be a comic book because I just don't like the way pages feel in actual like novels, hardcover, but I don't like it. It's like scratching a chalkboard. If you have that same feeling, that experience, drop it in the comment section below. But I don't know what it is. I just hate the way the pages feel. But comic books, they feel like gloss. They feel like magazines. I like flipping through a magazine. I like the smoothness of flipping through a magazine. So, like I said, if you have that experience, put it in the comment section below. Comics are a special kind of getaway. And if you've been the kind of person that reads comics or have read comics and then you see like the TV show version of the comic, a lot of those people say that the comic version of that TV show is better. So I highly recommend, if you're like fully immersed into something that was a comic, check the comic out, see which one you like better. And you never know, like I've heard there's things in comics that don't even make it to the TV show, honey. So definitely go check those out. But I hope you guys enjoyed Nostalgia with B.Poetique this month. If you wanted to come kick it with me once a month, I'm on 80s, 90s, and 2000s Vibes channel once a month, every first Sunday. So come kick it with me for your self-care Sunday. Get some nostalgia and, you know, become a part of the Poetic Clique. If you really want to become a part of the Poetic Clique as well, you can follow my personal YouTube channel and check me out on Instagram and Facebook and all of that. Everything is below. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your favorite comics in the comment section below. And I'll see y'all on the next one.